Heidi ho, Andrew here. Today I would like to teach you how to use the remainder theorem to find the remainder of some polynomial division. All right. So the first thing is what you need to do is you need to focus on the divisor. Okay, and the divisor is the thing that is being divided into the dividend. God, I love the terminology, don't you? So what we need to do is we need to figure out whether this divisor is basically a linear function. All right, remember, linear functions have the basic structure of y is equal to mx plus b. And this is really the important part, not the y part, but the mx plus b. If you notice, you have an x term here. It's not squared. It's raised to the first power. It can have actually a coefficient, even though the remainder theorem kind of in the textbooks say it can't be this, but actually if you work it out with a bunch of problems, you realize it also works with the coefficient there. And it's being added to some constant. So that's kind of what we have here, right? We can assume or envision, not assume, I mean it is the case, but the coefficient here in front of the x is a 1, so it's 1 x minus 2, right? So this follows the mx plus b form. Now, in the books they say you got to have x minus a or x minus k or whatever. Honestly, all you need to do is recognize whether this has a simple x term in it raised to the first power, and you can add or subtract any constant you like. What you then do is you take this divisor and you set it equal to 0. And what you're going to do is you're going to solve it for x. So add 2 to both sides. X then will equal 2. Right, 1x is equal to 2, but x, the 1 doesn't really do anything. Now, what the remainder theorem states, it basically states that whatever x is equal to here, if you were to plug in this value now in for x in your, well, there's no other x over there, but in your dividend, the output now of this function will be the remainder. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to take this function, x raised to the fourth, minus 9x squared plus 14. And what I'm going to do inside of these parentheses now is I'm going to plug in the value of 2. So it's going to be 2 raised to the fourth minus 9 times 2 raised to the second plus then 14. So 2 raised to the fourth, right, it would be 2 times 2 times 2 times 2. That's 4, and that's 4, and 4 times 4 is going to be 16. All right, so this is 16 minus then 2 squared, you got to do the exponents first, right? That's a 4. And then 4 times 9 is going to be a 36. And then you have to add 14 to it. So now what you need to do is just kind of combine these terms, right? You can combine the 16. It might be easier to see the 16 and the 14 first, right? If you combine 16 and 14, that's going to be a 30 positive. And then you got to subtract the 36 from it. And lo and behold, you're going to wind up with a negative 6. And this is the remainder. Okay? That's what it is. Now, if you had to set up if you wanted to prove it to yourself, set up a synthetic division here. Here, take a look. Bam. So I'm going to run through the synthetic division. You start with your dividend. Dividend. Oh, I even get confused. And you're going to write your x, the coefficient of the x to the fourth term here, the coefficient of the x cubed, x squared, x, and then your constant. So you got to have 5 kind of columns here. So the coefficient of the x to the fourth term is a 1. The coefficient here of the, x cubed term, actually there is no x cubed, therefore it's a 0. This is the coefficient then of your x squared term, that's a negative 9. I'm running through this. This is 0, there's no x, and then this is 14, because that's not really the point of this video. But, if you need help on synthetic division, please check out, we have like 40 videos out there for synthetic division. Check out our channel. Go into the playlist section of the pre-calc. Then what you're going to do is you're going to now, let me just erase this to clean it up. Then what you're going to do is you're going to take this divisor, set it equal to 0, kind of what we did before, solve this for x, and this is going to be then the value you're going to divide into. Oh, interesting. So it's very similar to what we did before. Drop the 1 down, and then you're going to do 1 times 2 is going to be a 2. You put that in the next adjacent column, add this column on up, that's a 2. Then you do 2 times 2, that's a 4. Put it in that adjacent column, add this on up, that should be a negative 5. Negative 5 then times 2 is going to be a negative 10. Add that on up, that's a negative 10. And then multiply this, right, negative 10, and then a 2 is going to be a negative 20. Add this on up, and OMG-ness, negative 6. That's the remainder. There you go. All right. So hopefully that helped, guys. Thanks for tuning in. I really do appreciate it. If this helped you out at all, maybe tell your classmates. We'd so much appreciate that. Love to help you with more problems. Check out our channel. Not only math do we have, but physics, chemistry. We got a lot more coming. We have thousands of videos out there. We solve actual problems. Because guess what you're going to see on your test? Actual problems. Take care.